Hi friends, today we're talking about the new YSL Make Me Blush Powder Blushes, and I have 6 colors to show you. I'm going to show you a demo on my face, close-ups, swatches, and I also had the chance to go in store and to see the rest of the colors. So pretty much I'm going to show you all colors that are currently available except for the pale lavender blush. This is the one that they didn't have in store, so let's go ahead and get started. I am very excited for this review because I really like the quality of these blushes, and I'm going to tell you what makes them special for me. These blushes come in 2 different finishes, satin and matte, and some of the satin finish blushes have a little bit more shine compared to others, but I haven't seen any glittery particles in any of the colors that I tried. So they do not contain glitter, they are velvety, soft, smooth, and they give a little bit of a blurring effect on the skin. Initially, when these blushes launched, I decided to purchase 2 colors. So the first 2 colors that I have chosen are Babydoll Pink, which is number 42, and 06, which is Rose Haze. Rose Haze is a matte blush and Babydoll Pink has a satin finish. These 2 blushes I have fallen in love. I didn't expect that I was going to like them so much. Initially, when I saw the first promo photos of these blushes in the end of last year, I knew that we were expecting these blushes, but I was not very excited because I thought that this is just going to be another blush and I don't need more blushes. But after trying them, I wanted to buy more right away. And even though I have 6 colors now, I want to add 2 more colors to my collection. As far as I know, these are going to be permanent. So a little bit of information about these blushes. They contain 6 grams of product and you can use them for 24 months. At least that's what it says here on the packaging. I'm going to zoom in the ingredients as well. These are blushes that contain talc. So I know that for some people this might be an issue, but for me personally, I have never been happier with a blush release for ages. And to be honest, lately I haven't been very excited about the new makeup collections and the new makeup that has been released. I really fell in love with this makeup release from YSL. Now, in the past, YSL was a very popular makeup brand in Europe, and I'm very happy to see them now coming back and releasing beautiful products. Now, first of all, let's take a closer look at the packaging. The packaging is outstanding, beautiful. It is exactly what I want from a luxury makeup product. The packaging is truly exceptional. It feels very fun, and you can see the colors of the packaging is different. Now, something very important to note about these blushes is that the colors that you can see on the websites are not very accurate, so they are not exactly what you're going to see in real life, and that's why I did my best to actually show you the swatches and show you the colors as they look in real life. So some of the colors definitely look very different on the website from what you're going to see in real life. So this is something that you have to keep in mind. I have fallen in love with the texture and the formula of the blushes. I did not hesitate to purchase 6 colors because I know that this is the kind of blush that is not going to get a hard pan. It is incredibly soft, velvety, smooth. And I would say that years ago, like 6-7 years ago, it was not really something unusual to be able to buy a beautiful blush that you can use for, if it's a powder blush, usually and typically in the past, you were able to use it for like 5-6 years and it would still be good. Right now, lately, with the whole green and clean direction, I see that a lot of the makeup that I buy goes bad in a few months, like in 6-7 months, it starts to smell funny. What I love and appreciate here is that this blush is going to be good to be used for 24 months after opening, and I'm absolutely sure, looking at the ingredient list and touching at the formula, I think that this powder blushes are going to last me for 5 years at least, because this is the kind of, when I say old school kind of blush, I mean this kind of powders that would last for a good 5 years and they're still going to be good. And that's why I did not hesitate to buy so many colors, because this is something, a makeup product that really makes me happy. It looks beautiful on the skin and I know that I'm going to use. The first color that I'm going to show you is number 24, and this is the palest shade that I have. It is a matte color, and as to be expected, just the texture is so velvety, smooth. It's like velvet. It's literally like the softest, the highest quality powder that you could possibly imagine. It is softer, smoother, more velvety compared to their pressed powder and their bronzer. I have the bronzer, I have the pressed powder, and I really like them. But these blushes, I'm obsessed with them. So this color is going to be suitable mostly for people who have fair skin tones. And this one is quite unusual because brands are rarely going to make colors that are going to respect pale skin tones that have warm undertones or slightly olive undertones. This color is going to look beautiful. It's the perfect no makeup color for me. I absolutely love it. And I have to say that both the matte and the satin finish blushes, they have a little bit of a blurring effect. But if you want extreme blurring effect, then choose a matte color, and the satin finish colors are also very beautiful. Now the next color that I'm going to show you is 06, and this is one of the first blushes that I purchased, Rose Haze. It's a beautiful color, but keep in mind that this one looks different on the website photos, and it looks different. So have a look at my swatches. So on the website, it definitely looks more beige, and in reality, this one is actually a rosy peach color. It is a soft rosy peach color, quite extraordinary, very blurring. I think that this color is going to suit a lot of different skin tones. And again, I just want to touch the powder. I just want, it's so smooth, soft, velvety, blurring, gorgeous. I really like this color, and I think that this is going to be one of the universally flattering colors. Unfortunately, for now, currently this shade is not available worldwide, but I hope that this, since this is a permanent collection, I think that YSL are going to release the rest of the colors, maybe in other countries as well, and to all countries. I think that this is just the start because this is part of their permanent collections. Then the next color, and my personal favorite, and this is 42 Babydoll Pink. It is a satin finish color, and you can see that this is actually this baby pink color. It is very similar to the Dior Backstage blush in Rosy Glow. I'm going to show you comparisons at the end of the video. This color is extraordinary, and if I could only keep one from these blushes, this was going to be it. Now it looks like a Barbie pink color here in the pan, but once applied on my skin, something that I noticed is that initially when I swatch it on my arm, it is going to appear that baby Barbie, I would say that the classic Barbie pink color, which a lot of people are not going to appreciate and a lot of people are not going to want to wear. But once I apply it on my skin and on my cheeks, it takes approximately 20 minutes for this color to develop its color, and it becomes exactly like it literally, this color literally takes years off my face, and it somehow, it doesn't look that pink. I'm wearing it right now on my face, and I don't like to use a lot of blush in my daily life. I can build it up if I want to, but it doesn't appear that pink. It is probably the only color from the collection that on my skin personally, it is pH reactive because it develops the most beautiful rosy color on my cheeks. And I get a lot of compliments when I wear this color. I don't even wear a highlighter because it's such a soft glow. It doesn't contain shimmery particles. It is the best blush currently that I have in my collection. If I could only keep one blush, probably this was going to be it. Now, one thing that I wanted to note as well, when I went in store, you can probably see in the pan in store, people were touching this color and it actually changed color. It became paler, which speaks to me that this color is pH reactive, because there are a lot of people in store that actually, when they touch the color, and you know, the oils that you have on your fingers are always going to react with the powder. And with pH reactive products, they're usually going to change color if you tend to swatch them a lot with fingers. And you can see in store how the color looks. So it has changed its color a little bit, which speaks to me that it's actually a pH reactive color. But this one is absolutely stunning. And it was the first color that sold out in France right after it was launched. Probably it sold out on the second day, and it's still not restocked in most of the retailers that I know. The next color that I want to show you is number 93, Restless Rosé. And if you have been following me, you probably know that this color was sent to me by mistake. I first decided to purchase number 44, their iconic nude color, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But instead of 44, they sent me 93. And I was wondering, should I keep it? Should I return it? But once I saw how beautiful the colors are, I just couldn't return it. I'm really happy that I kept this color because this is the most beautiful peachy pink color. So it took me a lot of time to actually film this color accurately, because depending on how I tilt the product and depending how I hold it, it changes its color. It goes from beautiful peachy pink color to actually a more cool toned pink color. I would say that it's more like a warm toned peachy pink color because it has little golden reflective particles, but it doesn't really have shimmery particles. It does not have glitter. It's very smooth on the skin. You can see on the demo, it just replaces the need to use highlighter, but it's so beautiful, so ethereal, blurring, and it's currently one of my favorite colors. Maybe this is definitely one of my favorite colors. I think I like this one even better than their iconic nude color in 44, which is the next color that I'm going to show you. The iconic nude color is very different on the promo photos and on the website. It looks a lot darker on the promo photos and it looks almost like a purple, but it's actually a beautiful pink shade. It's a cool toned pink color, not too shimmery. It's very soft, very smooth on the skin. But if I had to choose between these two, I was probably going to go for Restless Rosé. It's so pretty on the skin, but it's a matter of personal preference, of course. This one is one of the most beautiful blushes that I have in my collection, and for a good reason. Of course, this is their iconic color. They usually are going to make this iconic nude color with their lipsticks, all of their lipsticks, their lip balms, and then now we have the blush. I also have the liquid blush, which is definitely a little bit different. It's not as pink. The liquid blush in 44 is not as pink as this one. So this is a very pretty, very beautiful color. I think that this is the one color that is going to be universally flattering and it's going to work on all different skin tones. And the last color is going to be number 12, Nocturnal Nude. And this one, initially a lot of people are going to think that this is a little bit too dark for me. I also thought that it might be a little bit dark for me. Now on the website, again, this looks like a beautiful beige color, almost like a bronzy beige color. It is actually like, how should I call it? It is like a terracotta color with peachy. It's a neutral blush with peachy undertones. It's definitely more peachy. It's not like a bronzer. It is completely different from what you're going to see on the website, but I think that it's quite flattering. Now, all of these blushes are very pigmented. The pigmentation is very intense, so that's why I use a soft brush, and I usually like to tap it fast on the back of my hand before applying it on my skin, because if you apply it directly on your skin, you might find it to be with too much intensity of the color. I really like this color. It's like, right now the name that comes to my mind is Nocciola. So it's like a hazelnut, almost like a hazel, this kind of a toasty hazelnut color, which is a little bit peachy. And this one has a little bit of sheen, but it's not, the sheen is a lot more subtle. It's barely there. It's barely visible, the sheen, and it's not as visible as Restless Rosé or their nude color. So this sheen is almost, it's almost invisible actually. You have to really get close to the color to see it. It's more like, I would say, somewhere in the middle between a matte and a satin finish, but like you have to really think. And doesn't have that much of a luminosity, but it's a beautiful color. I think that this one, again, is a color that is going to suit a lot of different skin tones. But if you have fair skin tone like mine, just keep in mind that first take the color on the back of your hand and then go lightly onto the cheeks, because these colors, all of these blushes are very pigmented. Now, finally, I wanted to share with you some comparisons. I wanted to compare them these new YSL Make Me Blush powder blushes to some of the more iconic blushes that I have in my collection and the most loved ones by you. And I couldn't skip the Dior Backstage blushes because Dior have two pink blushes that are going to be similar to Babydoll pink. And one is going to be a Rosy Glow, which I currently cannot find, so I'm going to make sure to insert this one and comparison swatch to Babydoll pink because it is the closest one in color. However, Babydoll pink has a satin finish, so it's going to give you this blurring effect, whereas Dior's Rosy Glow, it doesn't give you a blurring effect. Now, last year Dior actually released a new color to their Backstage line, which is pink lilac, and this one has a little bit of a sheen. It's not completely matte like Rosy Glow, but something that I want you to see with Dior's blushes is, have a look at that. Like, I have to dip my finger and like really swirl and really press and really to take something. Can you see that on my finger? It's just this unpleasant when I touch it. So I can get the color onto my cheeks, but it's just a very firmly pressed powder that doesn't really make me happy. Now, it is a good blush, but I couldn't possibly compare it to the luxurious feel, the softness, the velvety feel of this one. Like, I touch it and I get the color right away. Like, I barely have to touch this one. This is the kind of blush that I want. And this one has blurring effect on my skin. Even though it is illuminating this color, it also has a slight blurring effect on my skin and it makes me look youthful. Now, I'm not saying that the Dior Backstage blushes are bad or anything. They are good. Apparently, I buy them. I have like 4 or 5 of them. I like the formula, but if I had to choose, like, there is no, I couldn't compare them. Like, this is real luxury and this is like if I had to compare them, I'd definitely go for YSL. I'm not even going to comment on the packaging. This one feels truly luxurious, like a luxury product. And this one, the Dior Backstage packaging, is mostly made for makeup artists, so it's not going to be luxury at all. It is going to be light. It is made to be used by makeup artists, so that's why you're going to see the color here on top. But what can I say? You're going to see the color of the YSL blushes as well. So here, like, apparently you can make a luxurious packaging that also is going to be very comfortable for makeup artists, because if you're a makeup artist, you're going to want to be able to see the color. And this is the whole idea actually behind the Dior Backstage makeup line. All of the products are going to have this transparent packaging where you're going to see the products clearly. However, it does feel light and it doesn't feel luxurious. One of the reasons why I was wondering if I should keep a number 93 Restless Rosé is because I have a very similar color from the Giorgio Armani blushes. It is very, very similar. I'm going to show you now, and I'm going to insert swatches as well. It is the same peachy pink color, and I was thinking, should I have two colors that are so similar? And for some reason, I was not using the Giorgio Armani blush at all. It has the same illuminating effect. You can see the colors as I hold them, that they are very similar. I'm going to make sure to insert swatches so that you can see them as well. Now, this one is a lot more illuminating. It's a lot more shimmery compared to this one. The YSL blush, it just gives me softness to the skin. I'm so happy that I decided to keep it because 93 is definitely a color that I'm going to use all the time, especially in the summer. I can see myself using this one the whole summer, especially when my skin gets a little bit of color. This is going to be irreplaceable. Now, as for the texture, the Giorgio Armani are also very smooth, but it doesn't feel as smooth as the YSL blush. I find it hard to actually find a dupe to this blush. Now, you're going to see now, when I touch it, it is very pleasant. I get the color right away. However, I just miss the softness of the YSL blushes. They are like velvet. They are so velvety smooth. This is the smoothest powder that I have touched probably. It's hard to compare this one. Then I wanted to go ahead and compare it to the Hermes blushes, which are my favorite. So Hermes have also two finishes. Some of their blushes have a satin finish and other blushes are matte. I'm going to compare them to the matte blushes. So one of my favorite blushes from Hermes is Rose Plume. Now, I would say that actually the YSL blushes, in terms of formula, they are closest to my Hermes powder blushes, because also Hermes, just like YSL, they have this incredibly velvety texture. They feel the same. When I touch Hermes and when I touch YSL, they have the same absolutely luxurious, fine, velvety texture. With the only difference is that Hermes are not as pigmented as the YSL blushes. So with the YSL blushes, they have a lot more pigmentation. So when I dip my brush into the Hermes blush, I don't always need to take it on the back of my hand first. So this one has a lot more pigmentation compared to Hermes. But if I had to say about the quality, I like them both. I like them equally. So the Hermes blushes are very expensive, but they are the best blushes that I have in my collection. And one of the main reasons is because even, we have good skin days and bad skin days. Everyone has them. And I prefer when my makeup is really blurring and it gives me this very soft focus effect. And this is the kind of effect that I get from my Hermes blushes. They are very blurring and very forgiving on skin with texture, or if your skin is just not in the best condition. Same with YSL. The only exception, I would say, I still prefer the packaging of YSL compared to Hermes, because Hermes has this minimalistic packaging, but the packaging of YSL makes me happy. And something additional for me is that I can see clearly the color. I don't have to turn them. I can just put them on my dressing table and choose the color that I want to wear for the day. Now, I cannot miss also the latest Chanel blushes. About the powder blushes of Chanel, I really dislike the latest reformulations. Even the last reformulation, they released 2 colors with a new formula. I did not like the colors. The formula is good, but nothing exceptional. But I wanted to compare them to the Jus Contraste Intense blushes. I really like those, but the texture of them, they are different. So they are not, initially they were advertised as cream to powder formula, but they are actually a powder formula that is slightly creamy to the touch. So they are not blurring. It's a beautiful formula. I really like them. They feel very velvety soft, but you can see that even though I'm dipping my finger a lot and swirling my finger, I don't get that much of a color. So the color is not as intense. These are 2 completely different formulations, but I got a few questions for comparison. Which one I'm going to prefer? Definitely YSL, because again, I appreciate when makeup really gives something to my skin. And makeup is really to enhance your beauty, to give you something when you're not in the best. There are times when you just can go out without wearing the tiniest amount of makeup. But there are times when you really need a little bit of help. You have some texture, your skin is misbehaving, and you need this blurred, very beautiful effect. So this is the YSL blushes definitely give me this kind of effect. So these blushes are 10 out of 10 from me. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and what is your favorite color. If you've tried them, let us know. And thank you so much once again. Until next time, bye.